Welcome back to the Profits Unlimited podcast. I was out a few minutes ago running around looking at some leads, and a truck pulls up next to me, and it generated a thought process for me again. And it was a lawn and landscape truck. Looked back, he had a trailer, had probably, I think it was 3 riding mowers on there. None of them were tied down, and we're not going to talk about that at this point, but it behooves of the situation that we're going to speak to here today. And when I looked at it, first thing I saw other than his name on the side of his truck was the words fully insured. And that jogged my memory back to many years ago, as I had a piece of literature. I'll tell you guys a quick story here. I had a marketing piece that we had put together, and I happened to go in to see my attorney, and I took it with me. I just wanted to get his input on it. And he saw on there fully insured, and he said, "Wayne," he said, "I just got one question." He said, "I noticed on the your marketing piece there, you've got fully insured on it. Other than that, it looks pretty good." I said, "Well, what's wrong with that?" He said, "Well, are you fully insured?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. You're the attorney. Tell me." And Ed proceeded to say, "Well, I'm going to create a little scenario for you." He said, "I see it all the time. People say fully insured." He said, "But most times we're really not." He said, "Let's say you're going down the street with your truck and lawnmowers, and you run through a yellow light or a red light or a stop sign, and you hit a car, and there's 5 women in it, and those 5 women are all pregnant, and now you've got 10 dead souls. Are you fully insured?" He said, "Most companies aren't." And he said, "I'm not just talking about landscape companies or roofing companies or large corporations." He said, "The worst thing you can put on anything is fully insured." He said, "Because most people are not fully insured. There's always going to be an incident that can occur." And he said, "I've seen it many times in my legal career where the limits of somebody's policies, whether it's 300,000, 500,000, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, regardless of what their limits were, those limits were fully exhausted." He said, "Putting fully insured on something is simply putting a target on your back." So I share that story with you simply because it turned the light on for me. He turned that light on for me. I thought it was pretty cool to have fully insured, because that's what most of my competitors had on their trucks and on their business cards, and everything I was seeing predominantly said fully insured, fully insured, fully insured. But the reality of it is, most of the time, we're really not fully insured. We can be insured. He said, "If you want to put anything on there, just put insured on there." He said, "But if your marketing piece or your truck or your letterhead or whatever it is that you're putting insured on is professional enough, it's going to be assumed that you have insurance." And he said that's what's important. He says, "If you want to put something on there," he said, "just simply put insured on it." And I learned quite a bit that day, and that probably goes back 25, 30 years at least, when Ed shared that story with me. But I think about it now all the time when I see fully insured on something. It's like, a few years ago, there was that big fire out in California that actually put that company out of business that was responsible for starting that fire, where it ran through thousands and thousands of acres of property and burned down hundreds and hundreds of homes. And they, as large as they were not fully insured. So just be careful when you put fully insured on something. With that, we're going to wrap this video up. Thanks, and have a great day.